up towards the hole like that, and then just let's dig it down right beside it. Would you please? Oh, you seen that there, Kevin? Does that look like quite a contraption to you or what?
That looks like a lot of something.
We're done. Let's go.
Tony Beets just unearthed a gold wash plant that could make him millions. Once again, we find ourselves watching these determined gold miners and their teams as they strive to maximize their efforts in the Yukon mines. Mining is notoriously tough, filled with long hours, physical labor, and countless challenges. Yet, miners like Parker Schnabel, Rick Ness, and Tony Beets are compelled to push through these hardships, especially now when gold prices are soaring to unparalleled heights. They know that this is a rare opportunity to make the most of their mining endeavors. Take Fred Lewis, for example. He is currently at a critical juncture in his mining career, facing some of the most significant decisions he has ever had to make. The pressure is immense because every choice he makes could impact his success or failure. Meanwhile, Rick Ness is contending with unexpected and shocking events that occurred while he and his expanding crew were out in the field searching for gold. These unforeseen challenges have forced Rick to make quick, tough decisions, ones he never imagined he would face. Similarly, Parker Schnabel is in a high-stakes situation. He and his mining crew are willing to risk everything as they explore new, unmapped territories, all in their relentless pursuit of more gold. They are fully aware of the demanding nature of mining and are committed to doing whatever it takes to extract as much gold as possible.
Because the sooner we get that thing out, the sooner we'll go back. Anyway, when we go down the hill, pay kind of attention. She's kind of steep in places.
Every day in the mines is a race against time and the elements, with the constant goal of striking it rich. Given this context, it's no wonder that Tony Beets was overjoyed when he came across a seemingly abandoned gold wash plant. This machine, a crucial piece of equipment in the gold mining process, looked like it could revolutionize his mining operations. It's not every day that a miner finds such a potentially game-changing piece of equipment just sitting there, waiting to be put to use. Tony, with his vast experience and sharp instincts, immediately recognized the potential of this discovery. He knew that this could be the breakthrough he and his team needed to elevate their gold mining efforts to new heights. While the other miners deal with the various issues that come with being the leaders of their own mining companies, Tony Beets and his dedicated crew are gearing up for serious business in Dawson City. Tony, a legendary figure in the mining community, was about to engage in one of his favorite activities, a thrilling helicopter ride. For Tony, these rides are more than just a leisure activity.
I mean, it's never been this high before. You gotta do something different once in a while.
They are a way to gain a fresh perspective on the vast landscapes they are mining. There's something exhilarating about seeing the world from above, taking in the expansive views, and perhaps spotting new opportunities from the sky. As we watch the helicopter take off with Tony and some of his crew members aboard, we can't help but wonder about the purpose of this flight. To some, it might seem like an indulgent joyride, a break from the grueling demands of mining. However, knowing Tony, there's likely more to it than meets the eye. Perhaps this ride is part of a strategic plan, a way to scout new locations, or to get a better look at the terrain they are working in. After all, in the high-stakes world of gold mining, every decision, every move can make a significant difference. Tony and his crew were halfway through their mining season, but they had only managed to collect about a third of their target haul of 3,000 ounces of gold. Fans who might be worried about Tony's progress can take some comfort in knowing that his helicopter ride had a very strategic purpose. Tony wasn't just taking a scenic trip, he was on a mission to find a solution to his team's gold shortfall. The market had reached record-high gold prices, a rare and lucrative opportunity that Tony and the other miners couldn't afford to miss. Tony knew that to capitalize on these high prices, he needed to boost his team's gold production quickly. To do this, Tony and his crew decided to chase a lead about an abandoned mobile wash plant that was rumored to be sitting idle in the wilderness. This wash plant, a crucial piece of mining equipment, could significantly enhance their ability to process more dirt and extract more gold. The sooner they could retrieve and deploy it, the faster they could increase their gold yield. The steep terrain of the Yukon presented a challenge, but Tony and his crew were determined. The helicopter ride was more than just a mode of transportation. It was a crucial part of their plan to locate and salvage this valuable piece of machinery. As they flew over the rugged landscape, Tony and his crew hoped to spot the wash plant from the air. The terrain was challenging, with steep hills that required careful navigation. Tony's experience and leadership were essential in guiding his team through this difficult task. His eyes were peeled, scanning the ground below for any signs of the massive machine. Once they located the wash plant, the plan was to retrieve it and bring it back to their mining site. This would be no small feat, given the size and weight of the equipment and the rough terrain they would have to navigate through. But Tony knew that the effort would be worth it. With the wash plant, they could process more material and hopefully hit their gold targets before the season ended. Tony's determination and resourcefulness were on full display as he led his team on this crucial mission. And who could blame him for his excitement? Look at this 35-ton mobile wash plant, a testament to innovative engineering by a free-spirited gold miner about 3 decades ago. This miner aimed to create one of the most efficient and accommodating wash plants ever designed. The impressive machine boasted a 40-foot drum and sturdy wheels, all designed to maximize gold recovery. Unfortunately, the wash plant turned out to be more of an ambitious idea than a fully realized long-term solution. It was only operational for about a year before being abandoned. The team that originally used it must have encountered significant challenges, leading them to leave it behind. Tony Beets, however, saw immense potential in this abandoned machine. Despite its brief operational history, Tony invested nearly $500,000 to purchase it. This bold move by the veteran miner underscored his confidence in the wash plant's capabilities. Tony's excitement was palpable. He recognized that, despite its age, the wash plant had immense potential. As Tony and his crew examined the machine, they couldn't help but marvel at its robust design. The sheer size and imposing presence of the wash plant were impressive. It looked like a piece of equipment built to last, with wheels that appeared capable of enduring the harsh conditions of the Yukon wilderness. The machine's design suggested it could be maneuvered relatively easily despite its massive size, a crucial feature for a mobile wash plant. The true genius of the wash plant became apparent when one understood how it worked. Tony was thrilled by its innovative design, which allowed it to process pay dirt efficiently. The pay dirt, the raw material containing gold, was fed into the machine, and it efficiently separated the valuable gold from the worthless tailings. The tailings were expelled out of the back of the machine, a process facilitated by its 4 giant wheels, which allowed the machine to move smoothly over rugged terrain. Once the wash plant had processed all the pay dirt in a particular area, it could be maneuvered to a new location to continue its work. This mobility was a significant advantage, enabling Tony and his crew to maximize their gold recovery by moving the plant to different gold-rich sites. Tony's decision to invest in this wash plant was more than just a financial gamble. It was a calculated move based on his deep understanding of mining equipment and his unwavering belief in the potential for high returns. He knew that with this machine, his team could process more dirt faster and more efficiently, ultimately leading to higher gold yields. As Tony and his crew prepared to bring the wash plant back to their mining site, they were filled with a sense of anticipation and determination. They understood the challenges ahead, but were confident that this remarkable piece of machinery would help them achieve their ambitious gold targets for the season. This wash plant was more than just a tool. It was a symbol of their resilience and brilliance, a testament to their relentless pursuit of gold in the unforgiving Yukon wilderness. Like a kid gazing at a new toy, Tony was clearly in love with this wash plant. As he consulted with the other members of his team, it was obvious he saw no reason why this 35-ton TRL couldn't change their fortunes. The machine, still in decent shape despite its age, seemed like a promising investment. Tony's decision to purchase this ingenious piece of equipment, even at a significant cost, made perfect sense given its potential to revolutionize their mining operations. Eager to put the machine to use, Tony wasted no time planning how to integrate it into their operations. Considering its mobility, they anticipated that moving it would be easier than relocating a dredge, a task they had experience with. Tony and his team were hopeful that this wash plant would turn around their somewhat disappointing season. Tony recounted how he couldn't resist acquiring the machine, especially after negotiating the price down from the owner's original $1 million to about $400,000. This substantial discount made it arguably the bargain of the season. Delighted with this deal, Tony was confident that taking this risk was the right decision. "You've got to try this," he remarked, emphasizing the importance of seizing opportunities. "Otherwise, one day you'll grow old and wonder why you didn't." Back at his camp at Paradise Hill, Tony quickly assembled a crew of 7 men to help transport the TRL. The task was enormous, requiring the use of extensive equipment to move the massive machine back to their base. This effort forced Tony to halt all other operations temporarily, but he believed it would be worth the $60,000 per day cost, hoping the wash plant would soon pay for itself once operational. Mike, Tony's son, and the crew's heavy equipment specialist, was at the helm for this critical mission. As they hit the road, Mike acknowledged that the most challenging part of the journey might be getting their equipment across the ferry. This ferry ride was no small feat given the size and weight of the machines they were transporting. One might think the difficulty lay in the weight of the equipment, but it was actually the length that posed the biggest challenge. The equipment was about 85 feet long, while the ferry could only accommodate loads up to 80 feet. This could prevent them from using the ferry, as it might be deemed too risky for everyone on board. If the ferry option failed, their only alternative would be to use the nearest bridge, which was almost 200 miles away and in the opposite direction. This detour would significantly complicate their mission, adding time and logistical hurdles to an already difficult task. Whoever said being a miner was easy clearly never experienced the challenges Tony and his crew faced. Their latest test came when they reached the ferry. The captain shared Mike's fear when she saw the enormous equipment they intended to transport. The tension was high, but fortunately, the suspense turned to relief when they confirmed that the ferry could indeed carry their lengthy load. With this hurdle cleared, they were able to continue their journey. Once across the river, Mike and the team wasted no time hitting the road again. Their destination was Moose Creek, and to get there, they had to cross the top of the World Highway, one of the northernmost highways in the world. This dangerous route added another layer of difficulty to their mission. Mike knew the risks involved. Speeding could result in hitting a rock and tipping his truck due to the heavy and unbalanced load. After some time, Tony and his crew regrouped at the road leading to Moose Creek. The task ahead was daunting. They needed to haul Tony's new favorite machine back to Paradise Hill, which was more than 100 miles away. Failure was not an option. With their season's success hanging in the balance, completing this task was crucial to jump-starting their gold mining operations. Tony, ever the seasoned leader, urged his team to proceed with caution despite their urgency. He emphasized that anything worth doing was worth doing well. After this pep talk, the team got to work. The sounds of roaring engines and crunching dirt filled the air as the crew followed Tony's lead, carefully transporting the massive TRL. Mike and the rest of the crew finally reached the location of the Washplant. The sight of the massive machine reminded them why they were putting in such effort. They needed this equipment to turn their season around, and now the real work began. The team prepared to haul the Washplant back to their mining site, fully aware of the critical importance of this mission. Every member of the crew had a role to play in this complex operation. They coordinated their movements, using a variety of heavy machinery to lift and secure the TRL for transport. The process was meticulous, requiring both strength and precision. Tony's experience and leadership were invaluable, guiding the team through each step of the procedure. The journey back to Paradise Hill was filled with its own set of challenges. The terrain was rough, and the weight and size of the Washplant made maneuvering difficult. The team had to navigate steep inclines and sharp turns, all while ensuring the safety of the equipment and themselves. Despite the difficulties, their determination never wavered. They knew the Washplant held the key to meeting their gold targets for the season. As they progressed, the team's efforts began to pay off. Each mile covered brought them closer to their goal. The difficult task of transporting the Washplant was a testament to their resilience and dedication. Tony's bold decision to invest in the TRL and his relentless pursuit of success inspired the entire crew. Eventually, the team arrived back at Paradise Hill. The Washplant, now safely at their mining site, stood as a symbol of their hard work and perseverance. With the machine in place, they were ready to restart their operations and tackle the remainder of the season with renewed vigor. Moving this massive machine out of there wasn't going to be easy, especially since Tony wanted to get the machine back to base within the short span of 3 days. With a ton of men and machines at their disposal, they had to pull off this mission. If they were going to succeed, they needed to follow Tony's plan to the fault. The first step was to dismantle the machine completely. They would start by detaching the conveyor belt, then take apart the sluice box. After that, they would tackle the hopper before finally facing the massive drum that had initially caught Tony's eye. Tony instructed his team, "Take the hopper out and we'll get on the hydraulics here. No shortcuts." The team got to work, starting with the conveyor belt. They followed Tony's directions carefully, and the process went smoothly without any major issues. The team's hard work and coordination paid off, and once they finished with the conveyor, Tony decided it was time to call it a day. He wanted his team to end on a positive note after such a productive shift. The guys deserved a break, a cold beer, a good meal, and a sense of accomplishment. They returned to their makeshift camp at the roadhead, where some stayed in the bunkhouse they had set up, while others camped in their trucks. Even Tony, despite his advanced age, was ready to rough it out with the best of them, sleeping in his truck with a space for his shoes. It was clear that Tony, a tough and seasoned miner, could still handle the challenges of the job. The next morning, the team got back to work early. They were about 160 miles south of the Arctic Circle, and time was of the essence. The late season meant they were racing against the threat of snow, which could potentially trap them and delay their operations until the next year. Tony emphasized the urgency. Let's get the drum out of there. The sooner we get it out, the sooner we can get back to work. They couldn't afford to waste time. Not only was their 3,000-ounce gold target at risk, but leaving the machine exposed to winter conditions could result in further damage from rust and condensation. As the team resumed their work, they faced the challenging task of maneuvering the massive equipment down steep hills. Tony reminded everyone to pay close attention, as the path was steep in places, making the descent risky. Despite the challenges, the team was motivated. They knew what was at stake. Their season's success and the future potential of their mining operations depended on getting this wash plant back to Paradise Hill. With their goal clear, the team worked tirelessly, using all their skills and experience to carefully transport each piece of the dismantled machine. The sound of machinery and the sight of dirt being moved was a testament to their dedication. Tony's leadership kept them focused, and his clear instructions ensured that each task was completed efficiently. Once they had all the parts ready for transport, the journey back to Paradise Hill began. The rough terrain tested their abilities, but their determination never wavered. They knew that getting this wash plant operational was crucial to meeting their gold targets. Every mile covered was a step closer to turning their season around. The crew's efforts were not in vain. They successfully navigated the difficult terrain and safely transported the wash plant back to their mining site. As they reassembled the machine, Tony's excitement was palpable. This wash plant, which he had risked a significant amount of money on, represented a new hope for their mining season. By the time the machine was fully operational, the team's hard work had paid off. They were ready to continue their gold mining operations with renewed vigor. The massive TRL, now at Paradise Hill, stood as a testament to their resilience and teamwork. Tony's bold decision and the crew's relentless efforts had turned a potentially disastrous season into one filled with promise. Tony and the rest of the crew got to work, with Cody carefully cutting the sluice box off. Once the sluice box was detached, Mike used heavy machinery to lift it away successfully. Next, they faced the challenge of lifting the 20-ton, 40-foot drum. Tony's plan was to retract the hydraulic supports, allowing the TRL to rest on its wheels so they could lift the drum and pull the frame out from underneath. During the process, they encountered a steel plate welded onto one of the machine's legs, which was supporting the frame. This plate needed to be cut off carefully to avoid damaging the equipment or endangering the crew. As they cut the plate, the machine shifted, causing a moment of alarm for Jordan Eagles. Thankfully, no one was hurt, and Tony helped the team laugh off the incident before resuming work. 2 days into the relocation job, Tony remained focused on keeping his team motivated and efficient. The veteran miner directed his skilled crew and utilized top-notch machinery to disassemble the TRL. With the machine finally in parts, they prepared to transport everything back to Paradise Hill. They attached the parts to chains for secure transport and aimed to complete the loading within 3 hours to avoid working after dark. Despite the challenges, the team managed to get everything on the road, ready to make their way back to camp. They were cautious to avoid getting too excited because excessive speed or encountering rocks and debris on the road could lead to a serious accident. In this situation, taking it slow and steady was crucial, especially as they faced challenging switchbacks on their route back home. Unfortunately, Mike encountered issues when they hit a slushy patch, causing his truck to struggle and damage a rim. With the help of their heavy equipment, they managed to extract the truck from Moose Creek within the 3-day time frame they had set for themselves. They were pleased with this accomplishment, as their next step was to load the TRL onto a truck and transport it to Paradise Hill. This move was crucial for turning their fortunes around for the season. Tony was particularly relieved that they managed to complete this challenging task before any adverse weather set in. He expressed gratitude to the team for their hard work so far and encouraged them to stay focused as they approached the final stretch of their difficult journey back to Moose Creek. In the end, Tony's relentless determination and the crew's hard work exemplified the grit and resilience required in the challenging world of gold mining during the rush to secure their fortunes.